Alright, so I just saw Guardians Volume 3, like, roughly 2 hours ago, and here are my thoughts. This is going to be a very heavily spoiler-filled review. It is a 9 out of 10. It is that amazing. This movie is a very heavily rocket-focused movie, and, like, the rocket stuff is really sad. Nobody died in this movie, which is really shocking, but they go in really great detail into, like, Rocket's life. And it's sad. All of his friends were killed, so that's just why he acts like a douchebag throughout all of the MCU. Adam Warlock in this movie was really good. I can see some people being like,
oh, he's not good. He's not exactly 1,000 billion trillion quadrillion % how he was in the comics.
But, like, I liked seeing him as more of a stupid child, because we have the Guardians of the Galaxy game where he was all, your fatherless, futile, feeble attempts to fight me, a futile dude. That was kind of annoying, and I'm glad they kind of had a different approach to him for this. This movie also has good focus on the other characters that aren't just Rocket and Adam Sandler. Adam Warlock. Like Drax in this movie, he is, like, really phenomenal. I love Drax in, like, almost everything he's in. And, like, this movie, he has a lot to do, and he's not a butt monkey. He's, like, actually funny, and he has a lot of depth, which I know he had a lot of depth in, like, Guardians 2. He had, like, one of the best scenes in that movie. But, like, in Star-Lord, the final scene of the movie, like, the mid-credit scene where he's just talking to his granddad, because he, like, went back to Earth, so that way he could, like, hang out with his grandpa, who he abandoned for, like, 40 or so years. That scene was sad. And I'm glad we're going to see more of him. Also, the score in this movie is really good. That's, like, the main thing that these movies are great at. It's, like, all the old songs that they bring in. This had, like, more 2000 songs, while the others were, like, 1900 songs. Which kind of shows how, like, this is a new team of Guardians coming soon. With Adam Warlock, Rocket, Groot. And speaking of Groot, he is amazing in this movie. He is really cool. And there's this, in the mid-credit scene, he is massive. He looks like King Groot from the Contest of Champions game. He is that cool. Though if I do have one problem with this movie, it is a very minor one. The High Evolutionary in this movie does not look like how he does in the comics. You can probably see him on screen right now, like a picture of him from the comics. He in the movie doesn't look like that, like, not at all. But just by looking at it, you can tell that it's, like, kind of a hard design to pull off in live action. They were able to do Kang good, but, like, High Evolutionary would kind of subtract from his performance because he'd be wearing that, like, a huge helmet thingy. That would just look goofy in live action. I'm kind of glad they changed it. But, yeah, this movie is really good. You guys should go watch it. It's a 9 out of 10, and I know I give that to, like, everything, but I mean it this time. This is that good. What also doesn't help it get a 10 out of 10 for me is, like, in the movie theater I was watching it in, there was this group of people who would burst into laughter at any joke that was made. Doesn't matter if it was a funny one or, like, a boring, not funny one, which most of these jokes hit. They would just bawl.